Hi, my name is James, and also sometimes known as Indiana Jones of Florida, and welcome to my gear tour. My first official gear tour, something I'm shocked I haven't done quite yet. This is something that I've been trying to do for a while now. I just never had the time or chance to do it, but I finally do today. And I put it up on a poll the other day about whether or not I should do a holiday video or a gear tour. And after some confusion and having to do a holiday video first, the gear tour won. And here we are, something I'm finally able to do. I'm actually quite excited about it because I have a lot of cool stuff to show off. I've been cosplaying Indiana Jones for a few years now, but I started back in 2022 when I challenged myself to make a proper Indiana Jones Halloween costume. And I did it, and I think it turned out okay. I actually still have some of the stuff from that day because I'm actually quite proud of it. It was definitely not screen accurate, but it looked good. And after I was done with that, I was like, this is kind of something I want to do for real. I've grown up on Indiana Jones. I've watched it since I was like 3. And an embarrassing amount of money later, and a lot of stuff later, here we are. This is what I have come to gain today. And let's go through it, shall we? So I guess we should start at the bottom. And before we do this, I want to clarify that I consider myself an indie on a budget, which just means I have to put a bit more thought into what I buy for this little hobby of mine. And doing so, you get things like this. These are some professor shoes that I found at Goodwill. They're definitely not 100% screen accurate, but they look good in pictures, they're the right color, and they're comfortable. I've had to glue them back together a couple times, but after that, they've come to work out really great. They look good, and that kind of is what matters to me. Also, can we talk about how cool this looks? This little pile of Indiana Jones stuff. I wish there was a way I could display it like this all the time, because this just looks really freaking cool. But nonetheless, we move on to the pants. These pants I found at some thrift store, and I got them for a few bucks. What's important to me, especially about pants and stuff like that, is that it has to be lightweight, because being the Indiana Jones of Florida, it gets hot down here really quickly. So when I'm looking for stuff like this, I'll make sure that it's lightweight enough where I can wear it comfortably out in the sun or whatever I'm gonna do. It doesn't have the pocket flaps, but I can't really warrant spending $100 like just for the pocket flaps when this looks good enough, honestly. I actually am quite happy with these. Moving on, we also have the shirt. This is a costume-based shirt. Again, it's also really lightweight, which is important for me. It fits nicely. The color is correct in my opinion. And yeah, you really can't go wrong with the costume-based shirt. It's a nice starter shirt as well. At some point, I definitely want to weather this. I know Kirk from Cosplay Fitness has done a video on how to weather your costume-based shirt, and I really want to take some notes from that because I think even at his nicest moments with his tie and everything, he's still got a bit of that gruffness to him. So I think some light weathering would go a long way with this. Look at that perfect fold. I'm a little proud of that. Up next, we have probably my favorite piece of all Indiana Jones cosplay moments in my life. It is my Wested Legacy Hero Crusade jacket. So this jacket actually holds a really special place in my heart, and there's a very good reason for that. Let me grab it real quick. Before I got my Wested, I had this bad boy. This is a Disney Parks Indiana Jones jacket, and it served me well for, I want to say, like 2 years, something like that. It served me well for a while. I used this basically daily whenever I could because, you know, Florida. But I still love this jacket, but unfortunately, it flakes. It's made of pleather, and a lot of it now has kind of rotted away, which stinks because this jacket is really cool. This jacket has met Sala, it met Short Round, it went behind the scenes of the Indiana Jones stunt show twice. Like, this jacket has seen a lot of adventures. I took it on a cruise all the way to Nassau, I took it hiking there. It has seen a lot. And I really think if you just use it casually, it probably will last longer, but unfortunately, pleather is not forever. And I posted about that one day saying I'm retiring my jacket because of this. And a good friend of mine, Sam from Utah Indie, he reached out and said, this is a good time to tell you that me and 3 other friends, Andrew, Matt, and also Sam, are pitching in to get you a Legacy Wested jacket. I still cannot believe that this thing is here. It's real. And my friends liked me enough to do that. This jacket holds an incredibly special place in my heart, and I love it to death. I am going to wear this thing until the day I die. I weathered it up, and I'm actually super proud of the weathering as well. I'm going to put it on real quick. I really lean towards the Last Crusade weathering, and this thing just looks incredible. I cannot thank them enough for this. I'm going to try, but I love this jacket to death. This jacket is incredible. and I'm so honored that I have such wonderful friends that gave this to me. Moving on from that, we have arguably the crown jewel of it all, the hat. This is an ad vintage Crusade style in true sable fedora, and this hat is incredible. I love this hat to death. The day I got it, I was like, whoa. I started off with an Akuba Federation 4, which served me well for many, many years. But after that, I went towards this because my good buddy Matt recommended it towards me when I asked him what hat he had. And I got it, and this is one of the greatest hats that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not exaggerating because I love how this looks. Crusade is a very special movie to me. And I like putting the gear ideas towards that because I think that outfit of Indiana just works perfectly, especially the tie. The tie is my favorite look of any Indiana Jones look ever. Even though I've used it for about a year now, the inside still looks really good. It's got a little bit of dirt and stuff in there, but you know, what is Indiana if not rugged? But yeah, we'll move on from there to the gear segment where it's like the whip and the holsters and stuff. And in order to do that, I have to bust out something that I love, but I loathe. Oh, this is my indie bag. I think this is a BB gun like bag that you can use to like store your, I don't know, I don't play BB guns, BBs and other BB gun accessories, but I use it as my Indiana Jones bag. Let me just give me a second here. Got a lot of old gear and stuff in here as well. Okay, first up we have my Todd's Costumes Raiders of the Lost Ark holster. I've had this for quite a bit. This was the first thing I got that was screen accurate for my Halloween costume in 2022. This was the only thing on that outfit that was screen accurate. But I love this thing. I've weathered it up quite a bit. I really wanted to make sure it looked like it's seen some stuff. Because in Raiders, Indy goes through quite a bit. And I really wanted to show that in the holster. So, you know, you got a bunch of scuff marks on there. Make it look like he's rolling around in the dirt. All that fun stuff. But inside of it, I have a prop, not real, prop. I have a little Smith & Wesson replica. I think this is like I think this actually is a BB gun, ironically. But it's got moving parts, you know, you can take the ammo out and stuff, throw it everywhere if you really wanted to. But I'm actually quite happy with how this looks. This is one of my favorite pieces of my Indiana Jones collection just because it works. Like, it has moving parts and everything. The trigger pulls, the hammer goes back. It's a lot of fun. And most importantly, they're obviously not really bullets. So, you know, it doesn't look that convincing. Love doing that. Moving on from that to the other holster. This is my What Price Glory, I want to say Crusade holster, but I'm not entirely certain. This thing isn't really accurate towards one specific holster. So I guess it's kind of my in-between for like Temple and Crusade, and I guess to that extent Crystal Skull. But it's interesting. It looks good. I also weathered this up really nicely in my opinion. You got a bit of scuff marks on there. Not nearly as bad as this, but you know, you got a bit on there. And I even did the thing where you write his name on the top there. It looks good for what it is. That's what matters to me. Moving on from that, we have kind of the more complicated stuff. This is the whip. I got this whip off of Etsy from someone called Matelia Whips or Matelia Leather, something like that. I just got this recently, so I still need to get it out and cracking, unstiffening it and stuff like that. Before this, I had a couple of nylon whips from the same company. Those worked really well, and I will show you those here in a second, actually. These are the nylon whips that I had before. This one is a 10-footer, and then this one is an 8-footer. Both by the same company. They're made in the Crystal Skull fashion. They're basically identical except for length. And attached to it, I have a Todd's Costumes whip holder as well. It's nice because it's Velcro, so you can adjust it however you need to. But after having this for a while, I really wanted a leather one, so I grabbed this one for relatively cheap. And it looks pretty good. I really hope that it does crack well. If it doesn't, then I guess oh well. At least it looks good. Whip cracking is something I seriously want to get into. I already consider myself like an intermediate in that aspect, but I have a lot of fun cracking whips. So at some point, I really want to get like a Joe Strain or something like that. Especially in Crusade. I love the Crusade bullwhip. The Crusade bullwhip looks so cool. So that's something that I seriously am considering one day. On the topic of that, my everyday whip holder is just this whip holder that I got from Amazon. I use it as a double wrap. It's a little screen accurate. I wouldn't say it's 100% screen accurate. Actually, I definitely wouldn't say that. but it gets the job done. And the whip holder is something you're gonna see a lot when you're wearing your gear because the satchel's kind of covering it anyway. Just spanked my own butt. Don't worry about that. It's got a nice ease of use and it gets the job done. Dang. Moving on from that, we also have my everyday satchel. This is a bag that I legitimately use every day to go to work. This is from What Price Glory. It is a replica only because since I am using it every day, I didn't want to get a real one and have that tear up on me. It would kill me to tear up a real one. So I got this instead. I probably will get a real one day, but for the time being, this thing is beautiful. I love this thing to death. It holds so much stuff, including my gloves. These are some yellow gloves that I got from Walmart. They're cheap, they're easy, they fit. I'm gonna dye them one day to get a more accurate Raiders color. But I do use these for like yard work and stuff like that, and they look good. Bacha! Alright, so this is my Mystery of the Blues quote-unquote scarf. So a Mystery of the Blues scarf is actually kind of hard to find, so I ended up just making my own. Back when Joanne's Fabric was alive, rest in peace, my wife and I went down there, got some of this material, and I just made my own out of it. Can't really go wrong with it. It's just a scarf. It's essentially just a blanket cut up. But it looks decent. Again, not 100% accurate, but it looks good. Moving on from that, this is my Last Crusade tie. Funny enough, this is a clip-on tie. This is something that I'm actually quite proud of because tying a tie every time you want to do a quick costume change is kind of difficult. So it's nice and easy to just pop this on and then wear it like that. And it looks phenomenal. I'll show you here in a minute because I'm going to put the whole costume on for you. Up next, we have the weapons belt. Also from Walmart, of all things. Again, not 100% accurate, but it's got that rounded buckle on it. The color's not too bad and it fits perfectly well. And I think it looks really good with like the holsters on and stuff like that. Like it's pretty good. It's your basic Walmart belt, but turned into a weapons belt. And I guess last but not least is the regular belts. So the tan khaki belt is from Todd's Costumes. I got this on a lucky find because they were out of stock for a while. I scratched the buckle up a little bit, put a bit of scuffing on there. I want to dampen the shine a little bit just because Indy's belt isn't that shiny, but that'll take some work, so we'll get to it. As for the brown Raiders belt, this one is from Amazon. The buckle used to be silver, but I got really lucky because I found a gold buckle at a thrift store somewhere for like $1, and I was like, heck yeah, so I put that on here and bang. I don't know what it is about like the brown belt with the gold buckle, but that just screams Indiana to me. For a bit of a bonus, we'll go through some of the old stuff that I have. This is a Disney Park satchel. This is the satchel I used quite a bit when I first started my Indiana Jones collection. It's not terrible. I think my favorite bit of this is the medallion as like the markings. That's just a cool touch. But I put a Todd's costume strap on that. I actually have that. Put a Todd's costume strap on that. I actually darkened this for quite a bit, but then re-lightened it for a Raiders outfit I did for a convention. It looked pretty good. I also use this bag every day, so it's seen some action. It's not as firm as it used to be, but it holds quite a bit of stuff. And yeah, I still stand by. This isn't half bad. I actually bought another one of these not too long ago because I hung it up on my wall and used it as my pin board. It's over there. I'm sure I can throw a picture in there somewhere. Yeah, I still like this bag. So speaking of starting out, this is actually the first jacket I ever owned for Indiana Jones. This is some Amazon jacket I found. I glued the collar down to give it that look. I used this like brown charcoal for like drawing and stuff and made that like the weathering patterns. And it doesn't look half bad. It actually works really nicely as just like a regular jacket. And the leather isn't terrible. It's actually a decent color. Yeah, I stand by. Like, this still looks pretty good. But I actually think that's it. So I guess there's nothing left to do but try it all on now. So this is the whole thing. This is my full gear, and this is my first time wearing this with the jacket on. And man, this looks really good. Seriously, I think the jacket brings the whole thing together. But yeah, this is me. This is what I wish I could wear every day. Ooh, and let me get, and then bam, tie done. But yeah, this is it. I'm actually super happy that I've done this now. I've finally properly done a full gear breakdown, and I'm proud of it. So let me know what you think. If you have any recommendations or questions or anything like that, I'm happy to answer in the comments. If you think I should do more like this, maybe do my artifact collection or like all the signatures I've done with Indiana Jones over the years, let me know. I had a lot of fun making this, and I still can't get over how cool this looks. Yeah. So I guess with all that being said, nothing but fortune and glory to you all. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.